Breaking news. All running backs are hurt. Today on SB Fantasy Football.
Every damn one of them.
Every single one. And welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast, where we try hard. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Alan. And joining me is one Mr. Rapid Dave.
Yeah, the yuck monkey. I'm just, just a little side piece, little whatever. I like that. I like that a lot.
You're more than that.
Yeah,
you're more than that.
It's good stuff. Fun times.
I'd say you're a power bottom.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Here we are. We're talking fantasy football, and I mean, every running back in the league is hurt.
Oof.
Guys just aren't doing anything. Some guys are doing stuff. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to start?
Trades.
I mean, Cam Akers just got traded to the Vikings.
Literally like 45 minutes ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Just obviously, I mean, someone commented on that post saying that doesn't help anybody's stock. I'm like, well, he went from a team where he was benched, and not just benched, but just scratched.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
Don't bother showing up.
Right.
Like he showed up at the facility and his badge just didn't work.
Oh, God, he's that guy. He's from the Jets or whatever. Everybody. That actually, like, if I had Cam Akers, I would actually feel confident of playing him.
I feel so much better
because with Madison, look, they gave him 2 games, and listen, he's not Dalvin Cook, right? He's not Dalvin Cook. The Vikings realized they made a huge mistake by letting him go. Just pay the man his money. He's been there. He's put in the work. And now Cam Akers is rolling into town. I feel like that's a similar package, if you want to say that.
A younger version.
A lot of life still on those tires. A lot of miles still left on those tires. So for me, Cam Akers, if I can get him in like DFS this week, I'm going to do it.
And a guy who showed last year on a bad Rams team could produce. Yeah. Right. Typically, if you're on a bad team, your running backs don't produce because you're throwing the ball a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Or your offensive line is trash. Mm-hmm. Which the Rams' offensive line isn't that great, but he produced at the end of the year when McVay pulled him out of the doghouse and said, "All right, go ahead and play."
Right.
And he did good.
Yeah.
So
not terrible.
I think that does nothing but help his stock. If you have Madison, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's just
because you took him way too high. And
you took him.
And you kind of, you knew that something like this was probably going to happen. And it happened week 2. Here you go. Yeah, so you lasted 2 weeks, and now it's, if at best, Madison splitting time with Cam Akers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at best.
Yeah.
It's Cam Akers show from going forward.
Yeah, I don't play Madison at all.
Can't trust
him. I'm not playing him. Yeah. He's not getting in there. Sorry.
Yeah. And the other big news of the weekend Monday night game, Mr. Chubb got hurt again, lower leg injury. If anybody's seen it, you don't want to see it again.
Kind of similar to his injury in college.
Yeah, tough. Ford picked up all the legwork. You wasted either all your fab or you wasted your waiver priority on him. And then just like that, they signed Kareem Hunt. So it's right back to split time again. Now, listen.
Well, I will say this week, Jerome Ford is going to be the lead dog. I don't think he'll get as much of Kareem Hunt this week.
Yeah.
Because he's got to get into football shape. So
he looked good, though. I think he posted a picture. He looked pretty good.
Okay, but he hasn't been going up against competition, right? And there's a difference between going against competition and running at home and training at home and facilities. It's completely different. Yeah. Being in shape and then being in football shape are 2 different things.
And so every week, Hunt should nibble away a little bit more at that share, almost 50-50 to be honest with you. But it worked several years ago back when you had Chubb and you had Hunt. Kareem Hunt performed in PPR formats.
But that will also depend on how Jerome Ford does. Like he's got to come out of the gates firing.
Yeah.
Right? He came out of the gates strong this last week. Once Chubb went down, he came in, did a great job. I think he had over 100 yards rushing, had a receiving touchdown on like the play after Chubb went out.
Yeah.
So he did good in relief of him. He's just got to keep that up, especially if he wants to keep his share of that backfield.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You want to talk about what else you got? You want to talk about guys we're shocked about? Because I have a running back that I wouldn't say that I'm shocked about, but people are shocked about.
Let's do this. Let's go ahead and knock out the imperfect and the perfect lineups. Just to get it out of the way. This is from NFL Fantasy Football on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days. Imperfect lineup. Here you go. Trevor Lawrence, 9.2 points. Breece Hall, 0.9 points. Dalvin Cook, 0.2 points. Dobbs, 5 points. Zay Jones, 0.0 points. Freiermuth, 1.2. I saw that coming a mile away. Greg Joseph, 4.0. Jets defense, 0.0. Are you shocked by any of those?
No. I mean,
Trevor Lawrence should have had more than that.
Yeah, but
yeah, no, the Jets are in absolute despair.
I had zero expectations for them this week going up against that Cowboys defense with Zach Wilson back there. You knew they wanted to try and run the ball, but you had zero threat of the pass.
I mean, let's be honest. 3 out of the 8 players that we mentioned are Jets here. So no shocker, right? The Jets defense, Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall. Would you like to hear maybe the perfect lineup?
I would.
Okay.
I would. Because I'm shocked by this.
I got to scroll past all these provocative women on Twitter, on X, that is. Now, the perfect lineup. You didn't believe me when I told you.
I did not.
But I'm telling you again, this is a 218.4 point lineup.
I think it had to do with how cheap he was.
No. This is NFL fantasy football. This isn't like DFS. No. This
is okay.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, 30.7. Robinson Jr., 28.9. Kyren Williams, 28.0. You know, your boy Keenan Allen, 31.1. Nacua, back-to-back weeks. Puka got 30.1. TJ Hockenson, 25.6. Aubrey, 18.0. Steelers D, 26.0. Like, that's crazy. Now, most of Jones, it was an amazing comeback on Arizona, so absolutely warranted there. I mean, Robinson right now, you see that he's the lead back there in Washington. It's the Robinson show at this point, right? And then Williams and Rams with Cam Akers being released, it's absolutely the Williams show. Keenan Allen had himself a week. Hey, he does that from time to time. He's done it his entire career. He's very solid, but there's weeks he's got the ebbs and flows. He's got the ups and downs. Nacua, though, this is his back-to-back awesome week with 30 points. TJ Hawkinson's a fan favorite for you, and he's just been great with the Vikings since he's been over there. This is his big week, obviously, of the year. Last week was just a little bit less. I think it was about half of what it was there. Aubrey with the Cowboys, he's just kicking field goals. And then Steelers, they played Cleveland. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So 26 points, though. That's not bad. 218.4 points again, like I said. Now, you want to talk shockers? Let's talk shockers. Give me some that you can't believe happened, and
go ahead. You were talking about Puka, right? I think Puka's on that list for sure.
Absolutely.
But don't shy away from his teammate Tutu.
Oh, still put up good numbers.
Puka and Tutu. Tutu had nine targets, 7 catches, 77 yards, and he had one rush for 5 yards. He's definitely right there as far as
Stafford's passing the ball around pretty good.
And Stafford, let's go ahead and throw Stafford out there.
Yeah.
Right. Stafford is right there on top of that back-to-back 300-yard games.
Every time we count him out, he comes right back.
He's looked good so far. Now, a guy who's completely crapping the bed that everyone had high expectations for, that I told everyone to temper your expectations, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
He had 9 rushes for -2 yards this week.
Tough
then
game.
5 catches for 51 yards. The week before, 19 rushes for 48 yards, 2 catches for 23. The guy just had such a heavy workload last season. I did not expect him to duplicate that this year. And so far through 2 weeks, he's definitely proving me right.
He's getting points. It's just not what you expect from a stud that you would, go pick it's your first round pick type action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was
You're expecting a little bit more, but he's performing almost on an RB2 flex arena.
This is a guy that I had in one of my dynasty leagues that I just joined that I was able to turn him. I had him on my team, traded him for Jameson Williams and 2 draft picks.
Okay.
So was able to get a lot of equity out of him, and so far that guy's sitting there kicking himself, going, "What the? I just got fleeced."
Oh, jeez. My player of the week that I think that shocked me the most was Daniel Jones. But is it a lot of shock to come back on the Cardinals? I don't think so. But he was down, proved himself, got that dub. I was very happy. It was a lot of points too. He had to sling it around. He was down, so it was definitely the Blake Bortles effect, if you want to call it that.
Except for with a win. Win at the end.
He got the dub. He did get the dub.
That's the difference in that situation is he got the dub. I think Tony Jones did a good job of stepping in for Jamal Williams. Although Taysom Hill was the guy who led the team in rushing that game.
You never know what's going on over there.
I think another guy who's really come out of the gates hot that shocked a lot of people, myself included, is Baker Baker has looked really good. 0 turnovers so far.
Just looked decent.
But he had 3 touchdowns week 1. He had a couple this week.
Yeah, decent.
Or over 300 yards passing. He's got the Tampa Bay at 2-0, which you didn't think they would be at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely
right?
Not.
He's helped Mike Evans be good so far this year, right? I think he's really come out and shocked a lot of people.
Nice. Anybody else from the shock list, or do you want to hammer out all these injuries and then talk some trade opportunities?
I mean, the injuries are just Chubb's done for the year. Barkley is out at least this week.
Mm-hmm.
David Montgomery, you're not really sure. Like right after the game, Montgomery said he was going to take a couple weeks, and then the next day, Dan Campbell's talking. It's like, hey, it might not be as long as we had thought originally.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Eckler's still out. There's no timetable for him.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones, another guy who's out. Jamal Williams has a knee injury. He's out. Kenneth Gainwell's dealing with a rib injury. You're not sure how long he's going to be out. Pacheco's dealing with a hamstring injury now. You've got Justice Hills dealing with turf toe. And those are the running backs. Quarterback-wise, Anthony Richardson, which I said was going to have a great game this last week, had 2 touchdowns and then got the concussion. He's still in the concussion protocol. Speaking of that, Jalen Waddle is another guy who's in the concussion protocol. And when you hear Mike McDaniels talk, you can tell he's definitely shell-shocked from Tua. He's like, take your time, bro.
Yeah.
There's no rush. The most important thing to us right now is how healthy he is. St. Brown is dealing with a turf toe issue. The end of the game last week, he was dealing with cramps and that. Brandon Ayuk's dealing with a shoulder. And then tight end wise, Logan Thomas is in concussion protocol. And then Dawson Knox is dealing with a back issue. So there's just a short list of the long list of guys that are dealing with stuff right now.
It really has been a crazy year. It's just only been 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, and all these names are racking up. And that's where you have to play it smart when you're looking at waivers, if you're looking at trades and things like that. And it really does. It comes into play. You don't win your league at your draft. You win it making pivotal moves and strategic moves throughout the year. Now, there is a couple of trade opportunities that popped up week 3, trade interest level through the roof, things like that. Players to trade for.
Okay.
You might not agree with some of them, but I'm going to tell you. Josh Jacobs right now, ranked 29th. It's a little trade for, go after.
His value's low right now, so the thought is, hey, the value's low and he's just going to get better. I mean, you can't get worse.
You throw a little something at him and see how it goes. Ramondre Stevenson, ranked number 10th.
I like Ramondre. I like trading for him. I don't think you've seen Zeke take a ton from him so far this year.
Nothing significant.
But I think that also has to do with he's still learning that offense there, right? He signed late in the offseason.
Just fall in the end zone.
That's it. Yeah. But you got to get down there for him to fall into it.
You do. A.J. Brown, ranked 44th.
I mean, I don't see anybody trading him away. Yeah, he's had a rough start to the season.
I've seen people put Jamar Chase on the trading block.
Okay, but if you're in a redraft league, yes, I see that because you don't know what's going on with Burrow.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
It might be the Jake Browning show here.
It certainly isn't the Dynasty League. These are players that you want to trade away. Rashid White.
I like Rashid White.
It's ranked 15th, but you can get value out of him to trade him away and pick up someone that's maybe has a little bit more ceiling.
How much value are you getting if he's ranked 15th?
He's ranked 15th. I mean, that's not bad. Would you trade him for Jacobs?
No, I would keep Rashid White. Rashid White will have a better year than Josh Jacobs.
Write that down. George Pickens, ranked 20th. Go ahead and sell high. It's as high as he's going to be. I think he had a 71-yard play, I believe.
Like Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And then Garrett Wilson. He's ranked 21st. I think
I don't like Zach Wilson. Although, if you listen to Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee, he's going to be back this year.
Yeah,
from his Achilles when he's 40 years old.
Oh boy, so. I just don't see it happening. We had a waiver wire video pop out on Tuesday. Alan releases them every single Tuesday, but here's just a little quick list that I thrown together or whatever. Kyron Williams, Ford, Moss, Nico Collins, and Laporta. If you can get these guys, get them. What was your 5 guys on that list?
So I kind of had more than 5. I had a bunch of positions. Kyron Williams was definitely on there. He was available in like 30-something% of your leagues right now. You've got Tony Jones was on there. He's available in all of your leagues right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Tutu is still available in like 60% of your leagues right now. He's definitely a guy you want to go and pick up. You can kind of see him being that almost that Robert Woods type once Cooper Kupp comes back.
And Robert Woods is no slouch right now. He's getting some good targets down there in Houston.
Yeah. Well, but I'm talking like Robert Woods when he was with the Rams.
I got you.
Those are a few of the guys. I can't remember everyone that I had on that list right now.
Go check out that video. It's available on YouTube. It's SB Fantasy Football Podcast. Go check it out. Watch it. It's dropped every Tuesday, and love to hear your thoughts. Hey, you sound off when we miss them. You don't say a whole lot when we hit them. So just on that.
Just show a little love when I get something right.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. And then you got anything else before we go?
Man, just
we got the Strikeout Beer show coming up.
So many just hurt people.
It's just injuries. It's just injuries. So maybe we'll talk more about that later this week.
This year is crazy. I'm going to go ahead and double down. Don't buy in on the DeAndre Swift hype. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. He careered last week. He ain't doing it again.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. As always, I'm Alan.
Rapper Dave.
Talk to you guys later. Deuces. Thank you for listening to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast.